All right. Hi, Race. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Okay, so today we're going to talk about kind of our client and healer journey together and what that was for the folks at large who are curious about what it is to work with woo-woo practitioners like myself. So we've been working together for about 18 months, or 16 months, right?
Hmm.
Um, and we're gonna kind of just talk a couple questions about it. What was your experience? What you liked? What have you. And I did not pay you, so you get to say whatever you want to say, what's really on your heart and mind.
Okay.
Um, so first off, let's talk about kind of what drew you to choosing me as your life guide and healer.
All right. So, yeah, I met you at the spa. I went down there because I was all stressed out. And um, I think I told you this, but I was looking at all the different flyers on the wall, and everybody kind of just looked hoity-toity, and so at first I was like, nah, I'm not doing this. But I ended up going to one of your talks and you opened up with some joke like, okay, so if you came here for basket weaving, and I was just like, I like this chick. Um, so I did some research on you, I saw that you spelled magic with a K
Mhm.
in one of your things, and I'm like, this lady's a witch. Like this is gonna be interesting. Um, and like I grew up in a family that kind of went to healers, but I really liked your approach, as you were talking and the people that were in the room, it just seemed like you listened really well. Um, you have a way of making people feel like they're seen and heard for who they are.
Oh,
And
thank you.
it's not like it's not clinical, but it's based on science, which I really appreciated, but your quirkiness and your humor is really why I chose you over anybody else.
I like that. That's good. Thank you. Um, where do you, or excuse me, what I want to say is, what were you wanting to work on before we started the journey? Like, you said that you met me at one of the talks, but like, what was it that was in your mind, if anything at all, was in your mind about it?
Now, I came to you for Reiki because I was just tired and like aches and pains like all the time. And so like I didn't even know that I had anything like to work on per se.
Okay.
I just
Yeah.
kind of threw everything in the closet, right? And as we've been working together, at first you're like, all right, let's do the what do you call it now? You call it the radiant alignment. And so you're like, well, we'll knock out the Reiki, but you should really do radiant alignment. And um, then you used to do the stress management talks, which kind of morphed into the coaching. And through that, you kind of helped me uncover a lot of the reasons why I always felt tired and achy and angry all the time. And we've worked through managing a lot of that. And I'm in such a better place.
Yeah.
I still a couple things you're helping me through, but I mean, night and day from what it was every day, waking up just feeling miserable.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's really important to notice too, is that it's not like the magic on the stage where we just, you know, the rabbit comes out of the hat and we're all good. It really is layers to work and understanding. And then you get these tools that you can help yourself with as well. And I love that. So thank you for being open about it. So I have glasses. I could use them. What do you feel like well, you said that, right? You said what's the difference that you feel like has been in your life since working with me, but is there anything else that you want to kind of add to that, if at all, since we've met?
I really appreciate you giving me the tools to like to do it myself. When we started working together, I was in Texas. I'm no longer in Texas, so it's a little bit harder, to just pop into the office for a rebalance. Um, And you gave me that, like when I first saw you, you gave me that immediate relief, but then I kind of felt it like come back on, and so it's that ongoing care, I guess, that you enabled me with, so I don't
Yeah.
necessarily have to get into your office.
Right. Right. You don't have to be here in person too. Like now that you're away, we do have calls with each other weekly to kind of go over stuff. And it may not be the same, but you also have learned how to work on your own energies when I'm telling you to hold a point or do that. And do you feel like you can experience some relief from it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like um I get a little bit overwhelmed with work and, stress or like crowded places all the time. So holding these different points or some of the mindfulness exercises that you've given me, it definitely helps manage that. I mean, even my spouse is like, no, you're not going to quit going to Nicole.
I do pay them. No, I'm just kidding. Um, so let's see, let's move into what were you surprised by in our sessions, if anything there?
Um, well, I was surprised that there was no pentagram on your floor. Um, no, when I first walked into your office, you actually were like, okay, so we're not gonna like sacrifice bunnies or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
Um, which made me like you even more. But in seriousness, it was how much it actually worked. Like this woo stuff is it's it's still pseudoscience, right? Like in official like scientific, it's still pseudoscience. So
It's
there's that.
fringy for sure. Fringy. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So there was always that doubt, but I'm a big Star Wars nerd and I believe in the Force and all of that, so that's why I gave it a go. And then meditations, like you had walked me through some meditations. I'd tried meditations in the past. I was always just annoyed. This is pointless. It's not helpful. But you kind of worked with me, like you knew by listening to me, like what my style was, what I needed, and you tricked me into it actually, because you were the first few meditations you did with me were very matter of fact, like it was like instructional,
Mm.
as if like you were helping me work with energy points and all of that. And then I was just like, it wasn't until after that I was like, wait a minute, you just walked me through a meditation and you're like, hey, whatever works. And through doing that and just doing it little by little, it kind of opened me back up to trying out some different meditations, whether it's the ones that I just listened to or some of the active meditations that you've taught me.
I like that. I like that. So initially you thought like I can't meditate. And then as we worked with where you were, you felt like, oh, okay, actually maybe I could try this again. You got more curious about it.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. I love that confirmation. Like even as many decades as I might be have having been done this work, my grammar is out the window. Um, it's always really confirming to know that I am able to meet you where you are. Because sometimes I don't know, like, is this enough for somebody? Do they feel heard? Do they feel seen? Do they feel accepted with where they are? They're not being pushed into a direction that's uncomfortable. Until I push you to where you're uncomfortable, and then you grow. Yeah.
Yeah, you do. You
Yeah.
do. But you've got that good balance, like I can come to you one day and be like, hey, listen, like it's been a little bit rough. And so your approach is a little bit more mom, sister, versus
Auntie, I'm your auntie.
you're my woo-woo auntie. Other days you're like, hey, listen, Race, it's I need you to do this. And for me anyway, it works. Like I need that either, give me a hug or kick me in the butt, just depending on the day.
Okay. I don't ever physically kick you in the butt, but yes. Um, what do you feel? And I don't know if you're picking up on noise, but my dog is making noise. There's someone in the background making noise. So if that's coming through, I apologize. Um, and I think some sirens just went off, so it's all good. What do you feel like other people should know, right? Like let's go back in the past to Race before she ever met Nicole in person. What would you have needed to hear or know?
Um, you know, I'm gonna go soft for a second, but like I honestly like you have really saved my life. You did. I've had some rough times, and uh just working with you has lifted a ton of bricks off of my chest. Um so like if I had to go back, I would just be like, hey, like give her a shot. Like what's the worst that can happen? Nothing happens. Um, or you can make something great for yourself.
Oh wow.
Um, some of the things that you open up.
I don't know if I can talk after that. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's good to see you smile and it's good to know that we've done so much work together. Um, I just want to say thank you for always trusting yourself, your own intuition, and then allowing me to like run with you also. And sometimes we walk and sometimes we run, and it's been a pleasure. And I thank you so much for doing this and like letting other people know kind of what the experience is. Um, and I guess that's it for now. Or maybe we should go over what sessions that you have done. So you've seen talks, you've come to workshops, you've done radiant realignment, you've done Reiki, and now we are doing the weekly Wayfinder coaching calls. Did I get it all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, did you say the circle? I don't remember.
Oh, the Aligned Circle. Yeah, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the subscription to that. Yeah. So we got those
Yeah.
workshops in there.
Yeah.
Aligned for Transformation
Um,
workshops, I guess technically, yeah.
yeah, so we did Reiki, and like I said before, that was immediate relief, and then you were just like we really should do radiant realignment,
Yeah.
um, which is always great. I made it. I made myself come up to Austin at least quarterly to get that, and it was interesting because one time I went with a friend, and I came back after coming to see you, and she was like, "Holy cow! Like you look and sound amazing." When I got back to the room, and then we do the weekly coaching calls, and I think that's been really helpful, just because you help address just like what's going on in real time, like week to
Yeah.
week. But the Gosh, I'm sorry. I can't remember the circle, the whatever your monthly workshops.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your monthly workshops are pretty useful. Well, it was like $30 for the year, so it was like, why not? If I can make it, I can make it. If I can't, you have the recordings and whatnot. But it's useful to be able to have um that immediate reach back
Mhm.
to just go in, click a link, open up your notes, and again, like find the tools for myself.
Yeah. Good. All right. Well, I feel like that covers it. And if anybody's got questions, they can always call me, right? So, um, Race, you are such a joy to work with, even when you and I are challenging with each other. That is so good because it helps me grow as a coach, as a healer. It helps me grow. So I love that you always ask the hard questions. I love that you always show up with like, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. It works. It's good. So with that, we're going to end this, and I appreciate your time, and I will talk to you later.
All right, you have a great one.
You too.